When installing electrical fixtures on live vegetation, such as trees, it's crucial to use components specifically listed for this purpose by Underwriters Laboratories, or UL. This ensures safety and minimizes the risk of harm to the tree and its surrounding environment. Several manufacturers offer UL-listed luminaires suitable for tree mounting. Cooper Lighting's Great Lakes collection includes fixtures designed for outdoor use and potentially adaptable for tree installation, although verification of specific listing for live vegetation is recommended. Hubbell Lighting also provides a range of luminaires that might be appropriate depending on the specific model and its UL listing. Columbia Luminaires is another manufacturer to consider, as they offer various outdoor lighting solutions. Musco Lighting specializes in sports and larger area lighting, and their products may be suitable for certain tree lighting applications, provided they are UL listed for such use. Tree mount luminaires, as the name suggests, are specifically designed for installation on trees and should have the necessary UL listing. Cytocraft offers outdoor site furnishings and lighting, and their luminaires may be appropriate for tree mounting if properly listed. Live branch luminaires are explicitly designed for installation on live branches and should be UL listed for this purpose. For electrical boxes, Hubbell offers the RT series round junction boxes, which are UL listed and suitable for outdoor use. Raco's VersaBox round junction boxes are another option to consider, providing a weatherproof enclosure for electrical connections. Thomas & Betts manufactures the Titan TRS series round boxes, which are also UL listed and suitable for outdoor applications. When selecting conduits, Anaconda produces Aquaproof TWX, a flexible metallic conduit that is UL listed and suitable for wet locations. Southwire offers Armolume, a liquid-tight flexible metal conduit that provides protection for wiring in outdoor environments. Nexans manufactures Lumitron, a flexible conduit option that may be appropriate for tree lighting installations depending on its UL listing. Several additional considerations are critical for safe and effective tree lighting installations. Firstly, always ensure that the luminaire, boxes, and conduits are specifically listed for installation on live vegetation. This information should be clearly indicated on the product packaging or in the manufacturer's specifications. Secondly, carefully follow the manufacturer's installation instructions. These instructions provide detailed guidance on how to properly install the fixture, box, or conduit to ensure safe and reliable operation. Thirdly, use appropriate tree hardware, such as tree straps or bands, to secure the luminaire and conduit to the tree. Avoid using nails or screws that could damage the tree's bark and cambium layer. Consider the potential for tree growth when installing the lighting system. Allow sufficient slack in the wiring and mounting hardware to accommodate the tree's natural growth. Regularly inspect the luminaire and its components for any damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn parts promptly to prevent electrical hazards. When working with electricity, always take necessary safety precautions, such as turning off the power at the source and wearing appropriate personal protective equipment. Consult with a qualified electrician if you are unsure about any aspect of the installation process. By following these guidelines, you can safely and effectively install lighting on live vegetation, enhancing the beauty and ambience of your outdoor space while protecting the health of the trees. It is important to consult the most recent version of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local codes for further guidance and requirements related to electrical installations in outdoor environments and on trees. Furthermore, remember that codes and standards can change, so it is always best to stay up to date with the latest regulations. For example, NEC Article 410. To stain. C3 addresses boxes, canopies, and luminaires as support for ceiling fans and other equipment and discusses marking the maximum weight for support. While that is not directly about tree installations, it serves as an example of the level of detail in the code. Consider NEC Section 300.5, which addresses underground installations, specifically the depth requirements for direct burial cables and conduits. This is relevant because, in some tree lighting installations, you may need to run wiring underground to reach the trees. The depth requirements vary depending on the voltage and the type of wiring method used. For instance, direct burial cables operating at 600 volts or less typically need to be buried at a depth of at least 24 inches, while rigid metal conduit only requires a depth of 6 inches in certain applications. Always consult the specific requirements in the NEC and local codes for your particular situation. Another important consideration is the type of wiring used for tree lighting installations. The NEC specifies different types of wiring methods that are suitable for wet and outdoor locations. For example, type UF cable, or underground feeder cable, is a direct burial cable that is specifically designed for use in wet locations and is often used for outdoor lighting applications. Type THWN conductors are another option, as they are moisture resistant and can be used in conduit systems installed in wet locations. When selecting wiring, be sure to choose a type that is suitable for the environmental conditions and that meets the requirements of the NEC and local codes. Grounding is another critical aspect of electrical safety that must be addressed in tree lighting installations. The NEC requires that all metal enclosures, such as junction boxes and luminaire housings, be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards. Grounding can be achieved by connecting the metal enclosure to a grounding electrode system, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. The size of the grounding conductor must be appropriate for the size of the circuit conductors, as specified in the NEC. In addition to grounding, ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection is often required for outdoor electrical circuits, especially those serving lighting fixtures. GFCIs are designed to detect small ground faults and quickly interrupt the power supply to prevent electrical shock. The NEC requires GFCI protection for receptacles installed in wet locations and for circuits supplying luminaires installed within a certain distance of a water source. Surge protection is another important consideration for tree lighting installations, particularly in areas that are prone to lightning strikes or power surges. Surge protective devices, or SPDs, are designed to protect electrical equipment from damaging voltage spikes caused by lightning or other electrical disturbances. SPD can be installed at the service entrance of the building or at individual lighting fixtures to provide surge protection. Regular maintenance is essential to ensure the continued safety and reliability of tree lighting installations. Periodically inspect the wiring, connections, and luminaires for any signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn parts promptly to prevent electrical hazards. Trim any branches that are growing too close to the lighting fixtures to prevent them from interfering with the operation of the lights or causing a fire hazard. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work yourself, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the installation and maintenance of your tree lighting system. A qualified electrician will have the knowledge and experience to ensure that the installation is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. By taking these additional considerations into account, you can create a beautiful and safe tree lighting system that will enhance the beauty of your outdoor space for years to come. Remember to always prioritize safety and to consult with qualified professionals when necessary. When choosing luminaires for tree installations, consider the light output and distribution patterns. Select fixtures that provide adequate illumination for the desired effect without causing excessive glare or light pollution. Consider using adjustable fixtures that allow you to direct the light where it is needed most. Also, consider the color temperature of the light source. Warmer color temperatures, such as 2700 Kelvin to 3000 Kelvin, tend to create a more inviting and natural look, while cooler color temperatures, such as 4000 Kelvin to 5000 Kelvin, provide a brighter and more modern appearance. When selecting boxes for tree lighting installations, choose boxes that are specifically designed for outdoor use and that are listed as weatherproof or rain-tight. These boxes are designed to protect electrical connections from moisture and other environmental factors. Look for boxes that have gasketed covers and that are made of durable materials such as polycarbonate or fiberglass. When selecting conduits for tree lighting installations, choose conduits that are suitable for wet locations and that provide adequate protection for the wiring. Flexible metal conduit, or FMC, is a popular choice for outdoor applications because it is easy to bend and install. Liquid-tight flexible metal conduit, or LFMC, is another option that provides additional protection against moisture. Rigid metal conduit, or RMC, is the most durable type of conduit and is often used for underground installations. When installing conduits, be sure to use appropriate fittings and connectors that are listed for use with the specific type of conduit. Also, be sure to properly support the conduit to prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged. When running wiring for tree lighting installations, be sure to use conductors that are rated for wet locations and that are of the appropriate size for the circuit. Type THWN or THHN conductors are commonly used for outdoor wiring because they are moisture resistant and can withstand high temperatures. The size of the conductors must be sufficient to carry the load of the lighting fixtures without overheating. Consult the NEC for guidance on conductor sizing. When making electrical connections, be sure to use appropriate connectors and terminals that are listed for use in wet locations. Use wire connectors that are designed to provide a secure and weatherproof connection. Wrap the connections with electrical tape to provide additional protection against moisture. When installing tree lighting, consider the impact on the tree's health. Avoid damaging the tree's bark or cambium layer, as this can make the tree more susceptible to disease and insect infestation. Use tree straps or bands to secure the lighting fixtures to the tree, rather than nails or screws. Avoid running wiring directly against the tree's trunk or branches, as this can restrict growth. When pruning trees, be careful not to damage the wiring or lighting fixtures. If necessary, hire a qualified arborist to prune the trees. Also consider the impact of tree lighting on wildlife. Avoid using lights that are too bright or that emit excessive glare, as this can disrupt the natural behavior of nocturnal animals. Consider using lights that are shielded or that have a downward direction to minimize light pollution. In areas where there are migratory birds, avoid using lights during migration season, as this can disorient the birds. Always check local ordinances and regulations regarding tree lighting before installing any fixtures. Some communities have restrictions on the type of lighting that can be used or the hours that it can be operated. Be sure to comply with all applicable codes and regulations to avoid fines or penalties. By following these best practices, you can create a beautiful and sustainable tree lighting system that will enhance the beauty of your landscape for years to come. Ensure all work is done in accordance to NEC standards, focusing on Article 410 for luminaires, Article 314 for junction boxes, and Article 350 for flexible metal conduit, as examples. Local codes may have additional requirements.